House Speaker Mike Johnson is backing placing conditions on federal aid for California amid those devastating wildfires. Johnson made the comment to reporters yesterday, blaming the fires on mismanagement and mistakes of local leaders, while floating the idea that relief could be tied to the debt limit.
I think we've got to have a serious conversation about that. Obviously, there has been water resource mismanagement, forest management mistakes, all sorts of problems. And it does come down to leadership, and it appears to us that state and local leaders were derelict in their duty in many respects. So that's something that has to be factored in. I think there should probably be conditions on that aid. That's my personal view. We'll see what the consensus is. I haven't had a chance to socialize that with any of the members over the weekend because we've all been very busy, but it'll be part of the discussion for sure.
What about the debt limit increase? What about tying the debt limit increase to?
There's some discussion about that, but we'll see where it goes.
In response, lawmakers are warning Johnson that tying relief to the debt limit could set a new precedent, as disaster-prone states like Florida and Louisiana, which also happens to be Johnson's home state, could face similar issues if Democrats win back the House. Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove of California. We'll get to the politics of this moment in just a second because it's palpable. But I want to hear from you, your experience on the ground over the weekend as you surveyed the damage in your home state.
So last night I was on the phone with friends and family members who've lost everything in both the Palisades and Altadena. I didn't have enough tissue to get me through the night. Saturday we toured Altadena. Entire blocks burned to the ground. Sometimes just the chimney were standing. I mean, churches, business centers, the school where my young son went to school burned to the ground. It is devastating.
Absolutely devastating. And then you come back to Washington and you start hearing this conversation about potentially conditioning the aid, tying it with the debt ceiling, which is as thorny an issue as any on Capitol Hill. What's your initial reaction when you hear that?
It makes me question what kind of Christian Speaker Johnson is. I hope that he would sit down with his Republican colleagues from California and listen to their stories as well. And I invite Speaker Johnson to my district that's suffering now and to tour the devastation of those sites and look those residents, those Californians in the eye and tell them that their rescue is being conditioned because he wants to play partisan politics with California. It is untenable.
Well, even Republican Senator from North Carolina, Thom Tillis, North Carolina, of course, one of those states that just got the disaster relief aid at the end of the year for the damage from the storms that happened in the fall, said we shouldn't be doing this and playing this game with disaster funding. But it speaks to, I think, why we've seen so many members of the California delegation, your colleague, Congresswoman Chu, the governor himself, saying he wants the president-elect to come to the area. He wants the speaker to come to the area. Is that because they want them to see it and then make sure that there's no retribution or party politics in this?
When you're on the ground and you can feel the pain and you can see the devastation and you see how much money it is going to cost to rebuild, and you also recognize that the character of Los Angeles could change fundamentally, I think then you realize that we have to have the funds that we need and the flexibility to reconstruct without these kinds of partisan discussions. I will say that California Democrats have been working with California Republicans on this issue. We are united, so Speaker Johnson needs to get behind the delegation.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are those conversations like?
I was on the floor and so many folks came up to give me a hug. Let me tell you, there are Republican donors who lost their homes, okay? Everyone is feeling this hit. And we know that climate change does not look at your voter ID to see if it's going to come for you or not. So we have to get real about what is needed.
It's not atypical if a speaker doesn't go and tour damage like this. They can, but it's not always the consistent thing. But what does it say if President-elect Trump, who will then be President Trump in a week, ultimately doesn't go? And it is under discussion right now with his team, but it's not for sure.
My understanding is that he's had conversations with the governor and Mayor Bass, both of whom have invited him. I was on a call last night with the Board of Supervisors, and they're also interested in having him come. So I hope he does come out. He has property in California. I think he has a vested interest in making sure that we have what we need to prepare for the World Cup and the Olympics, and so folks can come back to their homes.
So I just want to make sure I understood, because when Newsom had spoken to NBC over the weekend, he said he hadn't heard back from Trump. But your understanding is that since then,
my understanding is he is looking at coming out after the inauguration. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but that was information I got last night.
Yeah, that certainly notable, and that's newsy. I wonder if you can zoom out a little bit, and what does it portend for this Congress that it's starting out in its second week talking about conditioning aid to what happens to be a blue state?
I feel like we are running out of seatbelts. That's how bumpy this Congress has already, begun to be, and we're not out of January. We have got to put the pitchforks down and start recognizing that we're all Americans. The one thing that no leader can control is climate change. We are dealing with unprecedented winds. We are dealing with a drought that we have had and no rain since May. There was no president, governor, or mayor who can control all of that. And so what we need to do is make sure that we are preparing for the next disaster so that we can mitigate it and mitigate the enormity of what we are seeing right now in California.
Yeah, and we are watching disasters in California and then also hurricane damage be worse than ever. Congresswoman, thank you for waking up early with us, and thank you for these updates from the ground.
Thank you.